listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane, political satire, celebrity and expert guests, entertainment, conversations, and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door. You're listening to Hotep. You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane, political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? We're here for that intelligent-ish talk. That intelligent shit talk. Well, we bring in the profound and the profane. There's going to be a lot of profane today because there was a lot of shit talk going on. Wasn't it on Twitter? God damn, this week on Twitter Spaces, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but shit. Yeah. Damn, these motherfuckers been tripping on Twitter lately, ain't they? Man, it's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on. And we're going to talk about it right now. We're going to have some calls in. You know, I was watching. For those of you who don't know, there's been a hashtag. There's been a Twitter space this week. A couple of them going on. One by this dude I just followed named Mel. And he just asked a simple question. He just was talking about securing the tribe and asked a simple question about, is immigration good for black people? And unfortunately, a lot of non-foundational black Americans have been taking that as a time, using that as a time to talk shit about black people instead of answering a goddamn question. So we're going to bring it here. And we're going to talk about it a little bit, debrief, and get it going. What's up, Breeze Omega? What's up, Quan? Smoke Splitter? Knockout Noda? Looking like Snaptastic in the chat room on that, with that little profile picture. What's up, Lori Brown? What's up, Sebastian? Yeah. I appreciate that, Vernie. You got the mask and the shirt? That's what's up. It's cold as hell in the shy. Yeah. Yeah, before we get started, get your Black Heritage flag. I'm only going to have it up in the shop for the month of Black History Month. So I want y'all to get that. The Black Heritage flag, t-shirt, and mask. The Black Heritage flag, t-shirt, and mask. Get that right now. That is only available Black History Month. And you get free shipping on all orders over $50. Also, I got my new Patreon up. I have my too much for YouTube, too deep for YouTube tier and the webinar tier. I'll be bringing you. I had two very extremely successful webinars last year. A lot of people got it, and a lot of people have been asking me, "Am I going to do any more?" And I just got so swamped last year, I didn't do them. So this year, I'm changing it up, and I'm going to do at least one webinar a month, sometimes two, centered around going far deeper into the things that we discuss and how to solve issues. Not only in your personal life, but socially, whether that be through communication, primarily communication issues and relationship issues, relationship with your parents, your children, your spouse, or whatever. I have a flat monthly Patreon for that. And that's going to include a Discord chat group that we can discuss and heal our traumas together. And the lower tier will be things that I cannot talk about and do on YouTube. The Brittany Renner video I did that YouTube took down is already up on the Patreon. That video is already up on Patreon. The full video that they took down on YouTube. And I got my new Mothers of the Movement t-shirt. I hope y'all like this shit. Mothers of the Movement. Welsing, Wells, Hamer, and Scheherazade Ali. You can get these now on hotepish.com/shop. And if you become a patron, you get 10% off all orders, no matter the dollar amount. You can buy one shirt, you can buy 20. You will get 10% off. And you'll still get free shipping on all orders over $50. You dig what I'm saying? I hope y'all like that shirt. It's dope. I appreciate that, Oliver Green. What's up, Frank White? What's up, Erica Yates? Yeah, we here. But we about to have this discussion. And I'm going to start off with my opinions. Y'all know I'm my opinionated ass going to say what the hell I got to say. And then I want to talk to some of y'all. This here has been a big thing, if you ask me. Because it's Black Americans speaking up for ourselves louder than we have before. Let's lay the foundation, and I'm going to build this house. And then once I build this house, I'm going to open the door and let you in. Black Americans have been the most welcoming group in the United States of America. The United States of America is a nation of immigrants, except us. But for everyone else, yes, lots of immigrants. And one thing that's true about the history of the USA is the fact that no matter what your ethnicity is, when you're new to the United States of America, you go through a hazing process. And that's something that the Europeans taught us. Because that's how Europeans treat Europeans. When the early Anglo-Saxon, British first immigrants arrived, they arrived to secure a space for themselves. And when people like, well, the Dutch were here before them, but when even when the Britons arrived, well, not the Britons, the Britons were black. The British, when the British arrived, but that's a whole nother story. They were hazed by the Dutch in New Amsterdam. Then when they took over, they renamed it New York, and they started the hazing process. So in the late 1700s through the 1800s, when there was a heavy influx of Germans, the Germans got work by the Anglo-Saxon, European, British. And then when the Irish came over, they got that work from the established Europeans who were already here, and the Italians, the Greeks, and so forth and so on. The Chinese, the Hispanics. So now, in the last 50 years, there's been an influx of black immigrants from the Caribbean and from Africa. And they've come and they moved into black neighborhoods. They've blended in with us. Of course, we talk a little shit, but we ain't hazed them the way a lot of people get hazed when they come to America. Which stands out to me because, and here's how I know that's true. When I was listening to the Secure the Tribe group yesterday, and I was listening to Africans complain about being mistreated by Black Americans, basically the only thing that they could come up with was Black Americans talked a little shit. And that was their highest form of discrimination. Black people talking a little shit. cracking a few jokes. So they've since tried to turn that around and say that, hey, they've been treated racist too by black Americans. I mean, they didn't give not one example of black Americans denying them resources, denying them places to stay, apartment living. No examples of black people doing anything tangibly racist to them other than talking a little bit of shit. And I'm over here thinking, if the best you can say that we've done is talk a little shit, do you know how easy you got it? You didn't even get it as bad as white immigrants. You didn't even get it as bad as white immigrants. But you want to make it seem as if a little bit of shit talk from black Americans is equivalent to the bullshit you was going through at home. And so for that reason, these people feel the need to talk shit about us. And that's an insult. That's an insult. These people in the chat rooms yesterday were saying that black people have done nothing and that we're lazy, that we want to steal their jobs. And I was just thinking, they were saying a whole bunch of shit that me as a foundation of black American has never talked about in regards to Africans and Caribbeans. And it wasn't even a lot of Caribbeans calling in on this. It was mostly Nigerians and people from Ghanaians and South Africans. And I'm like, y'all do know you have a home to go to, right? If it's that bad, right? How are we that bad and you still here? So what I'm liking is I see a lot of black Americans standing up for ourselves because we've allowed these groups in. We know they talk shit about us. Hell, you can go back. Eddie Griffin got a stand-up special that came out, I think, in either 1997 or 1998. It's called Voodoo Child. Go back and watch that Eddie Griffin stand-up special. Damn near 25 years ago that came out. And even he's talking about, he has a joke in that special about catching a cab and how the Africans think that they better than us. And how he said, how you gonna think you better? Why you mad at me? Nigga, y'all the one that left us here. He said, I did not see a canoe coming over here to come help us out. Why the fuck you got an attitude with me? So this ain't nothing new that we've been dealing with from the diaspora. It's just in the last 3, 4, 5 years, we're standing up to it. We're not being silent anymore. And the fact that we're not being silent is pissing some of these motherfuckers off. To the point that they cannot answer the question simply, is immigration good for black people? Instead of answering that, they deciding to talk shit about us. But let me tell you something, black people. That's what happens when people feel a certain way about you. The disrespect that they feel towards us, the disrespect that they feel towards us is coming out. And it's coming out loud, and it's coming out nasty. And I say, let it rain, motherfucker, let it rain. Let it rain. And this isn't to say all immigrants fit in this boat. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But for the immigrant that don't fit in this boat, you have two options, and only two. Option number one, which is most optimal, is to jump in this fight on our side and check the people from where you come from over they bullshit, or stay silent. Stay silent. Don't jump in it. It's a rule I learned growing up in South Central LA, Crenshaw District. When the gangs are beefing and you a square and you not in that beef, stay the fuck out of it. Don't jump in asking who started it or how can I help. Don't jump in saying, well, these are my cousins and that's my friend. Nigga, your cousin in a gang war, your cousin will get you shot. Just stay the fuck out of it. Because what I've been seeing from some of the people who are, because they are well-meaning black people from the diaspora that don't want to get involved, that see the bigger picture, and they understand that we're better off not fighting. We're better off coming together and joining hands. And guess what? You're right. Black people are better off coming together and joining hands. But guess what? Black Americans have been trying to do that for the last 50 years. Do you think Martin Luther King and black people protested to get more black people over here to fight? No. The reason why it was a good idea back in the 60s to import more black people was, at the time, the black people we were importing were people like Louis Farrakhan's mother, Stokely Carmichael, J.A. Rogers, Dr. Ben Yosef Yakinen, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Marcus Garvey. We're thinking we're going to get more of them. Problem is, we didn't get more of them. We got a bunch of Kamala Harris's, Barack Obama's, Eric Holder's, Cardi B's, Nicki Minaj's, Sheila Jackson Lee's. Politically, we got a bunch of black people who look like us. Shirley Chisholm. They look like us, ran on helping us, only to get in office to work against us. While at the same time, you cannot name one black American in any Caribbean or African country high up in their politics disturbing the internal politics of those nations. We get people like Rihanna who bastardize our music, sing the worst verse. Like, let's just tell the truth. Rihanna old nom singing plastic voice having ass could not have existed in the 80s with her terrible ass voice. She could not have existed in the 90s. You guys benefit from a record industry that purposely dumbed down our music from the 70s through the 90s to make way for Rihanna's Nicki Minaj's, Cardi B's. They come up in here, sing dumbed down versions of our music, get all of the exposures, and then talk shit about us. No more. So again, to my immigrant brothers and sisters who are on the team, you got two options. Jump on the team and call out the bullshit from the immigrant community. Or if you don't feel that, if you want to keep your citizenship and you don't want to go against the family, I get it. Shut up. Just be quiet. Don't say anything. Don't come calling me. Don't ask me. Don't ask us. Well, you know, it ain't all of us. Nigga, look, we know it ain't all of y'all. We know that. 2 + 2 is 4. Anytime there's something going on, any movement, especially any social movement, there's always, it's never everybody. We know that. You should know that we know that. We ain't stupid. Just like we know all white people aren't white supremacists, but guess what? Too many are. So when we speak against white supremacy, we can't go around walking on eggshells, being afraid to offend the few white people who aren't white supremacists. If you're not a white supremacist, you're not going to get mad at black people speaking out against white supremacy. Same thing with immigrants who are truly down with black people standing up for ourselves. If you're truly secure in you and your culture and your place in this culture, you're not going to get offended at us speaking up for our culture because we've gone through this shit too much, too long. I appreciate the Cash App, Smooth. Smooth, thank you for the Cash App. If you truly have respect for us, you will either help us or stay the fuck out the way. Okay? Because immigrants have been talking shit for far too long. And those of us who are on our side, I'm not going to say you haven't done anything. I'm not going to say that because I don't know what people have been doing. I'm not in position to say what people have or haven't been doing. But it has not been effective. Whatever protests you've put up towards your family members, friends, or whatever, to stop them talking shit about black Americans, it has not been effective enough. So now daddy's home. And black Americans, we daddy. We mommy. This is our home. Since our cousins haven't done enough to put their immediate family in check, mommy and daddy is home to put our house in order. We home. So the question was asked, is immigration good for black people? And since everyone knows the answer is no, so many people have been trying to skate around that and talk a bunch of nonsense to deflect from what we're talking about. Let me address another group that's in our way. The black people who are afraid to offend other people. I get it. I get it. Because let me tell you, as much shit as I talk, I'm a Gemini. I'm hot and cold. I don't necessarily like offending people. But at the same time, I relish offending people. That's just my Gemini nature. But most of the time, I don't really like offending people. I like offending a certain type person. The people who don't deserve my respect anyway. Overall, I don't go around purposely offending people just for fun. I don't want to offend the wrong person. I don't want to offend somebody who's not a target. So I know how it is to walk around and not say things you want to say out of fear of having collateral damage. I get it. And if that's your stance, let me tell you something. I respect it. I respect your stance to not want to offend people. I get it. Just stay the fuck out my way. Because Black Americans have gone silent over this for far too long. It should not have even gotten to this point. People like Nicki Minaj and Rihanna should have grown up in an environment to where by the time they reached their success in music, they wouldn't dare talk shit about our icons, because growing up in middle school, elementary school, high school in their 20s, they would have been getting checked by Black Americans back then for their bullshit. But the reason why they feel so entitled to talk shit as entertainers is because we as a society allowed them to talk shit about us when they were laymen's, regular people. Especially the black men. We gotta step up with this. Black men will let someone like a Rihanna or Nicki Minaj talk shit because they want some pussy. I swear niggas in a Jones for pussy has fucked us up as a people. For real, for real. Going back to the motherfucking Moors. Niggas so pussy hungry, you allow other groups to get away with treason. Let me talk to you niggas like that. Y'all niggas is weak. As a man, you should be able to know how to control your dick to where you can still smash a woman and still be a man when you get about that bed. How you call yourself a man, but the minute you get some pussy from some chick from the islands with an exotic accent and an exotic look, or if they're white, now all of a sudden you on they team. I can't stand sorry ass niggas like that. You think just because you smashed a chick that looks a little more exotic than the chicks that are in your neighborhood, now all of a sudden you let them say what the fuck they want to say, do what the fuck they want to do, and you don't check it. That's weak as hell, black men. That's weak as fuck. I'm not trying to tell you who you should fuck and who you shouldn't fuck. If you like those exotic looking women, that's fine. But can you smash them and still be a man when you get out the bed? Can you smash them and still take care of home, your people? Because if you do have a baby by that child, you have the dominant genes. They're going to be you. And you over here making babies and leaving her to raise little coons like you. You don't even have the nuts to stick around and teach that little bastard some culture. So that little Rico Suave kid grow up thinking that they mixed. Thinking that they a little better than black because they ain't all the way black. Because your dumb ass done smashed and passed, or you may be sending out some child support. You may be taking the kid to a Laker game or two, but you ain't teaching them no culture. You niggas like y'all gotta go. Niggas like y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. Because y'all encourage this type behavior. People like Cardi B think it's cool to come to black culture and shit on black culture and then uphold her culture because she's smashed a whole bunch of rusty, dusty niggas that allowed her to. You niggas are sorry from the bottom of my heart. As black men, it's our job. We are the protectors of the culture. Women nourish the culture. Men protect the culture. Get it? The women nourish. A woman can only step into her role as nurturer. She can only be in her role as the one to nourish the culture when we're first in our role as protectors of the culture. It's yin and yang. And guess what? We first. That's what being a man is, nigga. I get tired of you niggas that listen to these so-called relationship experts online waiting for women to make the first move. Responding to how women act. What kind of nigga responds to a woman? You's a bitch. Nigga, you create the environment and she responds to it. We create the environment for women to respond to. So if you run around being a little hoe, not protecting shit, all because you want some green-eyed pussy, what the fuck can she nourish? What can she nourish? So, a lot of these immigrants feel free to talk they shit because we don't check them. Moderators, if you will, please. People putting up websites that are not mine, time them out. And if they do it again, kick them out. If they're putting up websites that are not hotepish.com/shop, kick them out. Or time them out first and then do it again, kick them out. But that's what we're talking about here, securing our tribe. Securing our tribe. This is ours. And we're doing that now. And it's so good to see. And you know what I'm saying? As the men secure the tribe, I'm seeing a lot of women jumping up and backing our play. You see how simple that is, fellas? The women don't follow until we move. Niggas are sitting idle, turn the car on and keep that hoe in idle for 2 years and get mad that the women ain't following. Well, nigga, they ain't following because you ain't moving. We got to move first and watch the women follow. And we're seeing that right now. We're seeing that right now. The men are making moves and the women are following. I heard a lot of dope ass women in those chat rooms speaking up for foundational Black American culture and society and protecting us. I'm not protecting, nurturing us, supporting us. But we're not going to see that until we create the environment for that to happen. It's that simple. We got to secure, and right now what we're seeing is, Black people, we got to secure our tribe on multiple fronts. Not only are we securing it from immigrants coming in and talking shit, we're securing our tribe from the sellouts within too. It's not just them. We securing it from the internal buffoons. Niggas like this. Kamal Bell. We got so many fronts to fight right now. We not only dealing with immigrant coons. We dealing with niggas that look like this. This nigga look like his family snitched on a plantation, don't it? He look like one of those, who's that nigga on that nag? Ass niggas. I don't trust Black men that smile with their mouth closed either. Nigga, what you hiding, nigga? What's up with coons and that closed lip smile? What's up with coons and that closed lip smile? This nigga look like he mumbling the massa. Niggas like this are so goddamn connected to master. They speak to master and telepathically. The nigga just move his lips like remember Spider-Man? How like when Spider-Man would talk, you would see his kind of like lips kind of moving from under his mask. Good question, sincere little guy. Is he even FBA? Don't trust these niggas that look black, bliggity black. Nigga got a Frederick Douglass fro, but want to talk about Cosby. Nigga keep his mouth closed all the way up until it's time to talk about niggas. We got to secure our tribe from these motherfuckers. We got external fights and internal fights. Smokeman said he swept the chimney with his head. This motherfucker look like a wish broom. This nigga look like the broom that witches ride. Remember that? The Wicked Witch of the West? How she rides her broom? This nigga's head is the broom. This nigga, and he got look at that funny looking grin he got on his face. I guess that's a look on your face when you just finished smelling white pussy. This nigga's like, nigga, this white pussy smell like mustard and mayonnaise and olive oil and vinegar. I don't want to say anything, so I'm going to keep my mouth closed. Those are the noises he make when he just finished smelling that apple cider vinegar tasting, smelling pussy he be munching on. Nigga only opened his mouth to talk about niggas. I can't stand black people. What about Cosby? What about Cosby? Cosby. We gotta watch out for these niggas. And immigrants at the same time. But you know what? As great of a task this is, as mighty of a task this is, we're up to it. We're up to it. Because traditionally in America, black Americans, when we fight, we win. Our biggest issue is finishing before the fight is over with. We're like black Americans, we're the type, we'll knock the other fighter down and then walk away like the fight's over with. No, they didn't get the 10 count yet. We don't wait for the 10 count. We'll knock them down and then go back to partying. That's our problem. We'll knock them down and then act like the fight is over with. That's our issue. Or we won't fight at all. We'll just let them do what the hell they do and we'll just mind their own fucking business. That's our issue. But when we fight and stay in the fight, we win. I don't give a fuck how many people we facing. We gotta remember this, people. And again, this is no disrespect to the immigrants who are on code. But like Dr. Clyde Winter said, we don't have to worry about them once we stand up. Because they're not fighters. They'll leave here and go back home when it's time to fight the same way they left home and came here when it was time to fight. So all we got to do is fight. And I do believe in when they go low, we go lower. So let me tell you something else. And I'm about to open up the phone lines, black people. Don't be afraid to be offensive. If these other groups can say what they want to say, it ain't nothing wrong with going lower and cracking jokes back on them, making them feel it. Because when it comes to jonesing, when it comes to cracking jokes, who better than black Americans to roast? Nigga, roasting is our thing. I know these Caribbeans been coming around trying to take our culture too. No, the black Americans get it. We call it toasting. We call it toasting. The black Americans get toasting from Jamaicans. No, motherfucker. Lee Scratch Perry and all of those original forefathers of your music said themselves that they got toasting from black Americans. Why? Quick little history lesson. In the juke joints of the chitlin circuit, artists like Fats Domino, who created reggae, by the way, Mr. Bobby Rush, who I interviewed, and you can hear this in his own words, Muddy Waters, Moms Mabley. You couldn't just be a guitar player or just a singer. To perform in the chitlin circuit, you had to be an all-around entertainer. And stand-up comedy, talking shit, was a vital element of that. You had to make the people dance and make them laugh. The art of roasting, talking shit, clowning comes from us playing the dozens. Something that carries over from slavery, the dozens, because lames, when I say lame people who were sold off into slavery were sold by the dozen, meaning you're old, you're mangled, you're ones who couldn't be any real use in the field. They were sold by the dozens. And when they would come to the plantations, the ones who were there would talk a little bit of shit, cracking jokes. Guess what? Because you got people out there saying, we need to stop that. No. When you dealing with oppression, sometimes you got to laugh it off. Talk a little bit of shit. So we play the dozens. And playing the dozens, talking shit, cracking jokes, has always been a way that black people have made ourselves strong internally for the external violent world we had to live in. The philosophy in black homes was, I'm going to toughen you up at home so when you go out into the world, you can take whatever they have to throw your way. So when it comes to talking shit, ain't nobody funnier than us. Ain't nobody on earth funnier than Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Corey Holcomb. Ain't nobody funnier than your grandmama, your domino playing, whiskey drinking uncle, your jive talking cousin. Nobody is funnier than us. Capping is one of the things we call it. Some people call it ranking. Some people call it clowning. We have all kinds of different names for it because it's so synonymous. It's such a major part of our culture. Because we believe in toughening one another up internally so we don't have to deal with the bullshit externally. That's right, Joey Dangerously. Comedy through pain. Jonesing in the DMV, that's what y'all call it? Yep. So if these other groups want to call us Akatas and call us lazy, and in Tariq's room they were trying to call him a high school dropout, like if that mean anything. That don't mean shit. And that's coming from someone with a college degree. I stand with our brother Tariq. I got a college degree, you mumbo mouth motherfuckers, and I love what the fuck Tariq is doing without a degree. Him not having a degree don't mean shit. Cause let me tell you, from someone with a degree, college ain't nothing but a racketeering scheme anyway. And the difference between someone with a college degree and no degree is motherfucking ain't shit. It don't mean a goddamn thing. It don't mean a motherfucking thing. So talking about someone because they don't have it, that's the thing. What's up with Nigerians and this whole education thing? I got a question. If you so goddamn educated, where the fuck is that education in your homeland? Why do y'all got shit in the streets if you so educated? What good is your education if you're not going to go home and clean up the shit literally in your streets? Same too for you Kamala Harris Indian motherfuckers. You slumdog millionaire bastards. Come in from India talking shit about black people, and y'all got Slumdog City. Shit rivers right next to high-rise condos. So, again, this is for the black people across the diaspora who are not in the bullshit, stay out the way. Because with them talking so much shit, we coming right back at you with our shit. And that's a problem you don't want. That's the problem you don't want. You don't want that problem. Because nothing shuts people up quicker than embarrassment. Why open defecation is prevalent across Nigeria. I didn't write this. I did not write this. But I will say this. If your education is so good, why is this going on? This didn't go on in rural black America. People say, well, that's because you live in cities. You live in America. You live in cities. Well, guess who created indoor plumbing, nigga? A black American. And before we had indoor plumbing, we had outhouses where Uncle Jethro would dig a hole in the ground, create a wood seat, and a shed for people to do their business in private. Not in the middle of the fucking street. So if people want to keep talking shit about black Americans, I'm your huckleberry. We are your huckleberry. You came to the people who like and love and relish in the art of shit talk. So don't be afraid to talk shit back, black people. We can't let people talk shit to us and feel that only thing they're going to get is our explaining to them why they're wrong. You shouldn't do that. Why do you do that? That's not right. We built this country for you. I'll say that one time. Then after that, I'm going lower. You go low, I go lower. That's the deal. You go low, I go lower. And if you don't want me to go lower, then shut the fuck up. That's right, Star. They go low, we take it to the floor. To the flow. So it's good to see black Americans speaking up for ourselves on our fronts. I'm going to open up the phone lines now to see what y'all got to say about this. What's on y'all mind? What's your perspective? Erica A said, yo, aunties and uncles could be comedians. Hell yeah. Let me tell you something as a comedian. The funniest people I know as a comedian ain't comics. It's family members. It's people who ain't never touched the stage. You just listen to them tell a random story. You gonna get the funniest moment of your life. YouTube didn't give you a notification, Celia? That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. In the meantime, join the Patreon. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace. What's going on? It's your brother, Sincere Love to God, man. I'm down here in Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man? I just wanted to, hey, first of all, your background music is my shit. Let me just say that off top.
I appreciate that, man.
That Johnny jamming. Hey, but nah, it's cool to give you your props, man. You right on point, as always, man. You know, foundational Black Americans, man. We out here, we circling our wagons. And it's not just about the immigrants, even though they want to make it about themselves. But like you said, this is about everybody that's off code. You know what I'm saying? We got to get these folks out the paint. That's just the bottom line of the issue.
Yeah. That's
You
the
know
thing.
what I'm saying, man?
It's everybody. It's the ones internally. It's the Latin ones. It's the Asian ones. It's white folks. It's I don't care where you come from. If you're talking against a black agenda, black first, and Black Americans, and talking shit about the creators of this country, you got to go.
Right.
That's
Right.
simple.
And so before I get out of here, I just also wanted to get your opinion on, you know, it kind of surprised me when I saw Godfrey pop up in the trailer for that Kamal Bell Cosby hit piece, man. What you thought about that?
I saw Godfrey talk about that on Hip Hop Uncensored, and I think it was either Hip Hop Uncensored or Viral Hip Hop News, one of those two. And he was basically, you know, talking like how Godfrey talks about how, like, you know, we don't know what happened. You know, that was Godfrey was saying that was what happened. You know, that was the time. He was sort of speaking. I don't want to say against Cosby. He wasn't. I don't want to say. I didn't see the whole thing yet, but from what I got from what Godfrey was saying, Godfrey was speaking up for Cosby and what went on, and he said he filmed all of his before the conviction. I mean, before the conviction was overturned. So I'd have to see what the content of what Godfrey said, but Godfrey was like, I know how it works in this comedy community. In this comedy community, we all have friends that may have political differences, but if they ask you to do a project of theirs, you'll still do it. Like,
Right.
you know, so I don't want to judge too hard because, like, one of my closest friends in comedy is Ida Rodriguez, and she's done this show before, but I see how lately they've been taking her more mainstream, and they've been having her speak for stuff, and lately she's been saying certain things that if y'all saw me talk to her, people could look at me like, Dwan, why the fuck you dealing with, you know, she's talking about this we're all the same in the same boat shit for the Democrats. But because her and our relationship go way before either of us became public personas, anytime Ida asks me to do something, I'm going to do it. And so depending on what she has done, it can seem a certain way, but you're only doing it because this is your homie. Now you're going to still say what you got to say, but who knows what the people on the editing room floor you do with your words. So for that, I'm taking a more let's sit back and wait approach before I throw any judgment on what Godfrey's doing.
I got you. I appreciate you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, man. You have a good one, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, well, Sincere Love to God, man. Check out his music. I checked out some of Sincere Love to God's music on Instagram. Check out, that was his name. Y'all saw him. Sincere. Put a link in the chat room of where they can find your music. That brother got some dope music. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good day, brother. This is Little Brown Village out of New York.
Little Brown Village out of New York. What's up, brother? What's on your mind?
All right, so I was recently at a hip hop event yesterday, and it just adds more credence to what you spoke of and how the narrative of, you know, basically people trying to take away hip hop from y'all, right? So, you know, people are familiar with the August 11th, 1973 party where Kool Herc's sister's birthday party. The only thing with that is Kool Herc, he was the DJ and he had the equipment. But what people don't talk about is the fact that there was a brother that was the DJ, that was the MC, that was a hustler, and that was the guy that basically connected Kool Herc to the streets, and was also a dancer. And his name is Coke LaRock.
Yes.
Coke LaRock is technically the first MC of hip hop. And Coke LaRock was born here in New York, and he's not from Jamaica. His roots are in North Carolina.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up because that was a point I wanted to bring up earlier than my monologue, but it skipped me. I'm glad you brought that up. The music section of it. We're having to fight that too. it was always established history up until the last 2 years since people been running their mouth. It was never a question that hip hop was a foundational Black American original art form from beginning through now. And it's just recently we're starting to have to defend ourselves from people that we welcomed in our community. And it's important that we continue this fight, because one of the best ways to teach our history is through our music. And in Black History Month, I'll be having 2 themes on doing not just Black History Month. I'm going to do it starting in Black History Month, but I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to have a series on the history of Black music going back to the 1600s through now, so I can tie hip hop to American foundational Black American music going back to before this country even existed on this land. And I'll also be doing a series on Black people fighting back in the 1950s using guns and fighting against the militancy of the Black movement in the 50s that predates the turn your other cheek 60s bullshit. So I'm gonna be putting all that stuff out starting in February. And I'm going to be doing webinars on some of that stuff with actual paperwork and lessons for people who want further information on my Patreon. But the 95% of that stuff I'll be doing for free here on YouTube. So I want y'all to look out for that, because we got to have the talking points for when these people speak up. Because when it comes to anthropology, I like to take myself back to the sciences. When it comes to anthropology and defining and studying culture, you have to be able to talk about the beginning before the beginning. What went on to create the beginning that we all see. Like, a baby isn't just born out of a woman's vagina. There's a 9-month incubation period. There's a sex that happened before that. That's the beginning before the beginning. And before we get to some hip hop party, August 11th, 1974, we got to talk about the incubation of funk, jazz, rock and roll, R&B, and all of that. So I'm gonna give you guys all them talking points.
And also one thing, just to be lighthearted, right? What's your most favored, or what's your go-to version of "I Just Don't Want to Be Lonely"? Is it the version by Main Ingredient or by Blue Magic?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'll tell you mine.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yours, though.
See, look, if I'm going to listen to a group, to an album, I'm going to listen to Blue Magic before I listen to Main Ingredient. But that song, I'm going with Cuba Gooding Sr. and Main Ingredient.
You really? All right, because the reason why I say Blue Magic is the intro at the beginning, where he was like, "Baby, where you going?" You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm listening to the song, at first you're thinking like, oh, like he doesn't want to be lonely. He wants her to stay with him, but he's also giving her like, hey, look, if you leave, bitch, just know I ain't gonna be lonely. I'm gonna have something with me, so you can go ahead if you want to. But you know what I'm saying? I need a woman. And that's basically our needs now. You know what I'm saying? Just like you were talking about before. It's like you know, as brothers, we want, to feel needed. We want to feel affection. We, you know what I'm saying? We want that. So, yeah, man. But wow. Okay, Main Ingredient. All right.
But I'm not gonna say anything against. I like the Blue Magic version too. I don't know. I guess the Main Ingredient was one that I heard with my father first, and so it brings back more memories than kicking it with my dad. Then I guess that could be the reason.
Yeah.
Nostalgic reasons.
I dig it.
All right, man. But thanks for the call, brother.
Yeah. Thank you again. And also, y'all. Hey, once again, if you from the West Indies and shit like that, hey, man, look, when folks is coons and cornballs, do not jump up and defend it because they sound like us. We need to really stop fucking with the niggas. Like, call them out for what they are, no matter what they look like, no matter what they sound like. When they trying to, what do they say? When they trying to slum it up, and just because this bitch got on chucks and pearls and all that other goofy shit, know the people that don't fuck with you. These people do not fuck with you. And shout out to you. Thank you so much, Dwan, and I'm out, man.
You have a good one, brother.
All right, take care.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's a good brother right there. When folks from the West Indies, if you fuck with us, Start calling out, like my brother who just called said. Start calling out people from the West Indies who try to take our shit. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, this is Trey Day, man, from Atlanta.
What's up, brother? What's on your mind?
Man, you on topic today, man. Man, Tariq, man, he set it off. And one thing that needs to be said is these foreign black folk, they get incentivized by white people to distinguish themselves from us.
Yeah.
And the thing that they don't want to, the thing that pisses them off that I see is that they finally getting called out on it. They know the shit they've been doing is treacherous.
Yes.
You know we got the same motherfucking enemy, but you over here taking accolades, you know, taking extra pay and shit. I mean, I'm an accountant. I used to work with a big Jamaican lady, except she was born here. Her people from Jamaica.
Yeah.
She would come in to the motherfucking building, and again, she was born here. She would come in and put a motherfucking Jamaican accent on. And me and the other dude would be like, but you ain't even from Jamaica. We wouldn't say the shit because she was older. You know, we were respectful and shit. But we'd be like, what the fuck is she doing? And the dude who ran the shared service department, he was a racist motherfucker, old fat pig built bitch. And, man, it's motherfucker, dog. He put me through the ringer. That was my first accounting job. I had to take all kind of shit, just to get that experience. But yeah, she knew that she was like the mammy on the plantation to me and the other black dude who they had on the team. So she played that mammy role just so happily and shit. One time, dude bought some chicken from a popular chicken joint in Louisville. And this chick ran around the motherfucking corner to Kroger to get a fucking bottle of hot sauce, came into the motherfucking office. Ooh, hot sauce. I got some hot sauce. Dog, me and this nigga looked at each other like, what the fuck is she doing, dog? And she's like a 60-year-old lady. And we like, dog, this shit's crazy, dude. But that's the thing, man. And one of my barbers, when I first moved to Atlanta, he's a Jamaican. And his barber shit wasn't popping off. I was one of his first customers. Luckily, he was good. But he had to get a part-time job. And one thing he would tell me is that the little redneck motherfuckers down here would come to him and be like, hey, buddy, you know, you guys work harder than the American blacks. Those guys are lazy. Yeah. But he would tell me that shit and stuff. So that's why I knew he was on code with it. Because some of them like to internalize that shit. Yeah, he is right. We are better. And it's like, dog, y'all do that shit for ego purposes. And that's the thing that kills niggas. These goddamn ego battles between ethnic groups and shit. I mean, what are y'all jealous because y'all see that our culture is glorified on TV? Because we around a dominant society that runs the world? We don't want to be around these crackers.
Nigga.
They steal our culture any motherfucking way. But y'all jealous because our shit get a little more shine than y'all. We respect y'all's culture. We know reggae and shit pops and everything. But I mean, all the petty shit gotta stop, cuz.
It gotta stop.
We about to go to war with these motherfuckers. I mean, I'm just being real, man. I mean, the way this shit's looking, it's about to be some shit popping off. And I mean, we need to make sure everybody's on code, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, I go to the gym a lot, man. I'm out here in Atlanta, and Gwinnett County, that's a hub for immigrants. And these motherfuckers, I noticed they wear a lot of USA like shirts and shit. All these immigrants be in the gym, and they always be like having like a bunch of pro-America shit on and all that, trying to prove they extra American and shit. And I'm like, you know, I just peeped the shit or whatever. I'm like, you know, they really on a mission to prove that they are different than us.
Yes.
You know, I mean, the Africans will come in, see the Hispanic foreigners and shit, walk right past the niggas and go high five the Hispanics and shit with their flip flops on and shit. They thong flip flops on and shit. You know, and I'm like, you know, why y'all do us like that? You know, but I want to say something about these damn Dominicans and Mexicans and shit. One thing ain't nobody talking about. They are busting these motherfuckers all throughout the Deep South right now. The Deep South should be overwhelmingly black. They busting these motherfuckers throughout Georgia, throughout Kentucky, where I'm from, in the rural areas. Not just in the cities and shit. They busting them out there in the rural areas and shit. They letting these Dominicans come over in New York, giving the illegals voting power and shit. I'm telling y'all, this shit's dangerous because the biggest racial event we had since the civil rights movement was in 2020. I was in Louisville. I'm from Louisville. Breonna Taylor, that's my people's people. So we was out there. We was out there front line, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in Chicago and in New York, where there's large Hispanic populations, in the west side of Chicago, I got a cousin live out there. I told her, you got to be careful because these motherfucking Latin kings or whatever, they trying to prove they battled with the white people. They pulling, you know, black women out the college shit. This was a motherfucking race war. And these bitches chose their side. In New York, in Dickman, them damn Dominicans, they chose what side they on. I ain't hearing nothing else about they black. Fuck them motherfuckers. And I just want to say, down here in Georgia, like I go up to Gwinnett a lot. Like that's where the Mexican hub is at. I'm a big nigga or whatever, and they midgets. So I just peep little shit. They ain't gonna do nothing disrespectful to me, but I just peep how they getting a little more comfortable up there. I used to go to middle school down here. We used to whoop their asses.
And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Being here, born and raised in LA, let me tell you how it works. Because nobody can tell you how it is with the Mexicans better than we can here in LA. They and I got Mexicans I'm still cool with to this day. But let me tell you something. As a group, they come in cool, they relax, they chill, they don't really trip. But the minute they get the numbers, the minute they get the numbers, they become the most hardcore white supremacists you can ever find, and the police back their play. What happened? A quick little story. I had a family. My mom's family was in a part of LA east of the 110 that was majority, all black back when they moved to LA back in the 1920s and the 1930s, and it was all black up through the 1980s. The minute the 90s got there in that part of LA, off of King Boulevard and Central, the minute that part got majority Mexican, they started firebombing houses, spray painting on houses. Get out of here, niggas. Now, don't get me wrong. Niggas handled their business. I'm not saying they punked us. I'm not saying that. But they tried it, and they had the backing of the police department. How do I know they had the backing? Allegedly. How do I allege they had the backing of the police department? Because every time there came time to do something about what went on, nothing was done. The police wouldn't come back. But they did, at one point, I will say, they caught one of them in an act, and one of them, like, a couple of them ended up going to jail for like 5 or 6 years. But that was only like 5 or 6 years, for racially targeting us. So that's how they get. They are cool until they get the numbers. Once they get the numbers, they ain't fucking with you.
And that's what the fuck I'm trying to get the message out down here. This is motherfucking Black Mecca. Atlanta census last year, 2020 just found Atlanta's 53% white now. And the thing is, I mean, it's too many. This is something that pisses me off about T.I., Killer Mike, and all these niggas. You motherfuckers is so content with trying to be friends with the mayor and all these motherfuckers. Nigga, do you see these motherfucking Indians got every damn gas station off of I-20? Why don't you got clout down here, T.I. Why don't you have some balls and say, hey, we gonna take every gas station off 20 until we get from Douglasville to Conyers. This is the black city. We gonna own these gas. Do some shit like that. You over here trying to cut ribbon for public housing and shit right next to a goddamn $300 million condo building or some shit. Just bullshit they doing for black people to try to act like they helping us and shit. This is the Black Mecca, dog. I mean, supposedly. We don't got no institutions for real down here, but just by population, I guess. Yeah. This is the Black Mecca or whatever, and I'm going to be real. It's pissing me off seeing, the Mexicans, they got the Mecca in L.A. and Cali and the Southwest and all that, and they treat us like shit. We being too motherfucking friendly to these motherfuckers.
And I think
all the fuck it is to it.
I thank you for this call, brother, and thanks for giving me that information what's going on down south. That's what needs to happen. We got to talk to each other throughout this country because you guys down south got certain things that we ain't experienced yet here in Cali. Cali got things that we ain't experienced down there, down south. So if we keep talking to each other, we can send the warnings out and we can get on code. So I appreciate the call, brother.
100, family.
Have a good one. Yeah, that's the thing, man. We as black people, that's how it is. We are too. You right, Gary Johnson in the chat room. We are too inclusive. We are too inclusive. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, what's good with you, man? This your boy from University of Maryland.
Oh, what's up, brother? How y'all been?
Man, getting ready for this game tomorrow.
Yes. Well, who y'all play tomorrow?
You said what?
Who y'all play tomorrow?
Indiana.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay. I'm gonna check out some of y'all games.
Yeah, man. I'm getting over this damn ankle injury. But I still
man.
gotta play. You know how it goes.
I know how that go, man. Make sure you gotta keep that ankle moving. Keep it moving.
Yeah,
Don't let
man,
it stiffen up on you, brother.
Ice bath.
Shit, but what's on your mind, man?
I'm gonna talk about a little. I'm gonna tell you my points, but I want to reframe on the last caller said. Okay, about the Hispanic population. Okay, so they busting these immigrants in, but you gotta understand, these Hispanic people think that they get a white pass. They don't, because you got a lot of far right white people that's pissed off. Like, for real, like, you got a lot of white people that's pissed off about a lot of these immigrants coming here. Like, they're talking about, like, real life pissed off.
Yeah.
Because you know what affects the black community trickles to the white community, but worse.
That's real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of far-right people are pissed off about this. That's what I'm saying. Joe Biden and the Democratic Party are done. Because they already lost the younger black vote. The boomers, they comfortable niggas. But the younger black vote is pretty much done, right? Like the new black media and people like you, Tyreek, everybody, the younger black folks are waking up. They're not listening to the boomers no more, because they already lost.
You know what? To help you guys out down there, a mistake that we made here and continue to make here in LA. Don't you guys over there go for it. When the white supremacists are on those people's asses, let them have them. Don't jump in and protect them and say, don't let these people come over and say, hey, black man, hey, brother, we not white, we in this together. No. Let them, if the white supremacists want to go ham on them, stay the hell out the way. The problem here in LA is every time the white supremacists, back in the 90s, when the white supremacists in the 2000s was going ham on them, it was black people coming up saying, you shouldn't do that. It was in the 90s. It was I'll never forget one of my first times, one of my early times voting, was for, I think it was Proposition 8. I think it was, where they said illegals can't get medical care in California if they're illegal, and California overwhelmingly supported that measure to stop immigrants from getting our health care and education without being proper citizens. But it was the Democratic Party and the black politicians out here and these NAACP Negroes and these preachers and black preachers coming in saying, no, those are our brothers and our sisters too. They should have the right. And now look at what happened. Now illegals these motherfuckers are not only getting stimulus money, they get pulled over without a license. Their car don't get taken, and they're getting protections from this government that we as black people don't get. The people who fought for them motherfuckers 20 years to stay here. So y'all don't make that mistake we made here in California.
Exactly. And another thing I want to say, okay, so with this whole what Tyree talked about yesterday with the black immigrants, I'm to the point now, bro. I don't fuck with black immigrants like that. I fuck with us. I'm gonna tell you who I really rock with though. I rock with South Africans, because South Africans, they fight like all the South Africans I met said that their idols are black Americans. That's who they follow.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, South Africans are run from their country. They stand there and fight.
Yeah. You're right about that.
All
A lot
the
of
South Africans I met, they got on code with us. As soon as they got here, they got on code with us. And in schools, by my school, all the South Africans rock with black Americans. It's always the Nigerians and the West Africans that talk all the shit. I'm talking about the most Africans that I met, bro, are the biggest haters are West Africans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, they're the biggest haters, bro. Like, especially Nigerians.
And look what's going on in South Africa right now. South Africans are the ones who are on code down in South Africa who got their shit together. They're having to deal with Nigerians too. Nigerians have flooded South Africa taking opportunities from the native South Africans. Follow that story down there. It's been going on real heavy the last 2 or 3 years.
The crazy part about it is, they talk about all this, oh, I'm better than the black Americans. How are you better than us? The black Americans are the most, as far as the black demographic group, we are the most successful, the most copied, and the most influential. Nobody talk about Nigerians. Nobody talk about people from Ghana.
And I'm glad you brought that up
about over here and go to our organizations to get money.
Yeah. And you're right, but again, you're right about that when it comes to the South Africans. You know, Shaq Seshby, he's done this show before. He's from South Africa. His parents were part of the rulership class before they were ousted by Mandela's party, before Mandela was ousted, before Mandela was put to jail. I interviewed him on this show about 1.5 years ago. Y'all should check that out. I'm glad you brought up that point about South Africans. There's a lot of them on code.
And I got a South Africa. You know what I'm saying? We got a South Africa. He a center. He a backup center. When he a freshman. When he came to the University of Maryland, he immediately got on code with us.
That's dope.
The first day, got on code with us. We boosted us to whack. And you know what I'm saying? He came out with church shoes on. Somebody, you can't dress like that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get my man some, you know, some Joes or some Nikes some phones. Nah, but he immediately got on code, got a swag up. But I'm telling you, I fuck with South Africans because they get on code with us. It's them like West Africa. They make black Americans do not want to fuck with Africans. It's always, especially Nigerians. Nigerians are the biggest haters. I mean, they talk about, oh, we doing this, we doing that. No, you not, because the biggest people in your country that you brag about are scammers. They scam the government out of millions of dollars. So how is that? You talk about, oh, we gangsters, we criminals, bruh. Your biggest people in your country, bruh, scammers. Ain't that a crime?
Fix that shit in your home country before y'all come fucking with us, man.
Exactly. In the Lagos right now, they can't even come together to get a proper sewer system. Look it up. They're literally shitting on the streets in Lagos.
Yeah.
Going to the bathroom. I'm like, bro, so how you got Jerry? So you are proud failures. You got to come over here to HBCUs. Like yesterday, Tyreek talked about a call called on Tyreek show yesterday. He said, "Oh yeah, you black Americans don't want to study hard. He's from the Congo." And then he backtracked and said, everybody in my home country is illiterate. I'm like, oh, nah. So you are a professional at a HBCU, but everybody in your homeland is illiterate?
That don't even add up. Man, you 100% right, man.
I gotta get back to practice, though, bro. I gotta get back to practice, man. I'm in the ice bath right now. I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, show love, man. I'm getting ready for this game, man. My ankle fucked up, but I still gotta play. I'm gonna holler at you, bro.
Go ahead and play, man. I'll be supporting you from over here, man. Have a good one.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, y'all support the University of Maryland basketball team. They got some real ones on that squad over there. So proud to see what those brothers are doing. This is what I told Show One African. Oh shit, my phone ringing. What are you doing? Call back. The button. Whoever that was from 626, call back. I didn't hit the button in time. But this is what I did. This how I flex on people. This is how I flex. Hold on, Carl. I'm gonna finish this point, then I'm gonna get to you. This is how I flex. I heard a Nigerian talk about black people don't study. Black people. Oh, this is what happened when somebody called into Cedrick Show a couple days ago. Talked about, you know, when he asked what do Nigerians bring. They said we become nurses and doctors, and that helps black people. This is what I thought about. This is one of my one of my cousins from back in the day. Of course, he died way before I was born. But he's out of my family bloodline. Carl Glennis Roberts, the first black president of the National Medical Association. He got this position back in the 1930s. So let me tell you, like people like from these other countries that think we ain't done shit. I can point to my own family goddamn history and show you what the hell we been doing. So sit your ass down and be happy that you're here in America. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, DwannBrown.
What's up, Jeff?
Jeff calling in. Hey, man. One, enjoy your show as usual. Two, I think way personally, way too much attention is paid to who's not on our side, who's not rolling with us, who has betrayed us. We are not going to get anywhere big until we truly turn in to ourselves. And that's going to happen when you and me are really old. Because the young cast that's coming up now is not having that bullshit our grandparents had. And one day, we are going to get to the point that we own our slang. You can't just take our slang and put it in commercials. If we took everything that we give back, we could cripple this earth without the help of anyone. What say you, brother? I'll take that answer off.
All right, that right there, we can't. But look, it's not for the way I see it, Jeff. It's not an either or. It's a both and. Because we can do two. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can spend our time educating ourselves and growing ourselves while identifying a threat. The United States does this all the time. You know, when it comes down to it, you got the CIA and the FBI. The FBI secures threats from within. The CIA secures threats from without. You need both to happen. One thing that has not worked from before, one thing we can guarantee that has not worked, staying silent as others trample over us. It didn't work when we stayed silent when the Italians were doing it. It didn't help when we stayed silent when white folks taking over rock and roll. It didn't help when we stayed silent when Mexicans were taking the city jobs that we had here in LA. It ain't gonna happen if we stay silent with these Nigerians and Caribbeans trying to take our culture. Staying silent has never worked. We have to speak up against them, and we have to speak up for ourselves.
Here's where I disagree with that. Gangsters move in silence. Is that there is no ask the Japanese how much energy they put into, or the Chinese, how much energy they put into the retribution paid to Americans that killed them after they made the railroads. They didn't do. They didn't push that. They don't. And this is not to say that we shouldn't be aware of it.
Yes,
but
they
it
did.
Is possible.
They pushed it. Yes, they did.
It's possible. Okay. All right.
That's how they got reparations.
How about this? How about it's possible to study something? It's like studying the wrong stuff for the test. You can study, but the test, what the true test is the ability to be self-sufficient. Fuck the Nigerians. We know it. We know that already. So now that we know that, even the good that's the problem. Black people don't want to take no casualties. We need to have people suffer at our hands that are innocent. So for people to understand that we serious. And
well, how do they suffer? How do they suffer if we ignore them?
Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Dwan? If we had a strong enough mind to go, fuck the NBA entirely, we all going to the Big Three, which, by the way, the Big Three is kicking the NBA's ass right now. They just ain't talking about it. If we had the courage to go, you know what? Keep your record label. Keep your TV show. Keep your job. And really, really disassemble this system and turn around inward to one another. Brother, that's the only answer. That's the only answer.
Oh, I know you know, Jeff. I speak a lot about going inward, but look. Let me we got to be clear.
Yes, sir.
When you're dealing with an attack from all sides, there's no one solution from getting attacked from 360 degrees. When you're dealing with a square is 360 degrees. If the attack is only coming from the left side of the square, then that's the only part you need to fortify. But if the attack is coming from all four angles of the square, you have to have an all four angle approach, or a hexagon, or a trapezoid, or whatever shape that equals 360 degrees. Whatever it is, you have to have an approach to attack them all. Now, I do agree. We have to secure ourselves, because the only way we can properly defend ourselves against these attacks is through knowledge of self, through making ourselves stronger. And that's why I do this show. That's why I spend so much time reading books and educating Black Americans to our strength. The purpose of me educating us to our strength is so that we have the bullets and the firepower to defend ourselves against these attacks. Now, at the same time, if you just sit there and you just make it about yourselves, and what about the kids? When the kids see all these other, I'm not gonna look, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna sit there quiet and have black children be raised listening to people from the Caribbean claim their culture, while these black kids got to deal with everything wrong being black. Every time somebody is arrested, they black. Every time they kill somebody, they black. Every time somebody steals, they black. But then the minute they do something great, oh, now they're Nigerian. Now they're Jamaican. Now they're from Cape Verde. Now they're from Italy. Fuck that. No. I am going to defend our greatness against anyone who tries to take it while I make myself a better person and secure myself internally. We can do both.
I love you for that, bro. And I don't know what part of me you get that says I disagree with that. Here's where I'm talking about. What is said derogatorily about us, what is printed derogatorily about us, what people have to say about you. I'm a firm believer in this. What other people have to say about you is none of your fucking business. With regard to the 360-degree analogy, I love that analogy, being a Marine and all. You've just described the fact that we are surrounded by enemies. So why point at any particular enemy for a transgression? It is a waste of time. It's a waste. Here's a better use of my time to you, in my opinion, Dwan. Your show, incredible use of time. I've learned so much listening to your show. Another good use of time, and I'm going to talk to you about it. I had a mentorship program going on at John Muir High School where I get brothers to come talk to these young black brothers directly, the way you talk, the way we speak. And the concept that everyone that is not black or sympathetic with your cause, everybody ain't standing on your side with a gun, is an enemy. And what they are doing is a waste. What I want you to do is turn inward. Spend your money black. Spend your time looking at your history and know that they are enemies and give them enemy as a given. If they don't stand over here with me, fuck you then. I don't waste time with shitty Nigerians or shitty West Africans or shitty white Mexicans. Fuck them all. I'm down with my people, and I can't over focus. See, they did that. See, they did that. Well, nigga, that's what they do. What you doing? That's the way I feel, and I don't. Let me push back at that. Look. Yes, sir.
You treat people how to treat you, and
sure.
The reason do you know why they don't do that to white people? Not because white people sit idly by and say, "Oh, they're just Nigerian." No, it's because the minute someone transgresses against them honkies, they gonna smash on them. So people are afraid to. When
I'm with
the
that.
people, the reason why people feel comfortable shitting on black is because black people allow it. And we allow these people to do it without repercussions. If you want a bully to stop bullying you, you punch that bully back in the mouth. You can't just say, I'm going to go meditate and hum and I'm just going to be a better person and maybe they'll stop. No, you be a better person at home. But when you go outside, somebody push you, you knock their asses out.
Okay,
you can do both.
Dwan, I'm from South Side of Chicago. The only thing that a bully expects is either equal or greater aggression. Here's how you deal with a bully. Again, we keep dropping the ball. We dropped the ball with George Floyd. We dropped the ball with the Clippers.
How we dropped the ball with George Floyd? Change the world to George Floyd.
Here's how. Because one, we believe that George Floyd is dead because Derek Chauvin had his knee on his neck. That's not why George Floyd is dead. George Floyd is dead because the little girl who had a video did not have a group of black men to go to that she knew would die for her or anyone else in their place. That is why George Floyd is dead. And unless and until we can say shit like this, hey, every Fortune 500 company in Minnesota, if y'all don't put George Floyd to death, we don't care you don't have a death penalty. That's not our problem. If you don't put this man to death, we as black people will see to it that every Fortune 5 company in your state dies a horrible financial death because we will starve before we fuck with you.
I love you, my brother Jeff, but I'm not with that because
really?
I'm gonna tell you exactly why I'm not with that. One thing, that's something we've tried too long and it doesn't work. If you throw an ultimatum out there that you can't enforce, that only weakens your position.
Why can't we enforce that?
Because
why can't we enforce
show
that?
me. Because we can't do anything about Fortune 500 companies. When it comes to Target, if every black person in Target never shop that Target again, Target will still be a Fortune 500 company.
Here's how you.
And let me tell you else why we can't do it. Another reason why we can't do it, because like I always said, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. We live in an extremely racist country. You saw what happened with Chick-fil-A. You saw the LGBTQ were saying, we're going to protest Chick-fil-A. And what happened? Everybody else on the other side was like, oh, they going to try to take down Chick-fil-A? Oh, shit, I'm going to order 2 combo meals instead of 1. The minute you go around, you can't, again, go back to internally. You can't change people. You can't change corporations. We have no enforcement mechanism. That sounds good, but it has no way of working. Now, if we had a way of enforcing the punishment mechanism, then I'm 100% with you. But if we cannot create ultimatums that we cannot control the outcome of.
Okay, I want you to tell me this. I want you to tell me that if everybody black and sympathetic to our cause,
that's not.
Okay.
Already, that's not ideological. Already, we're starting off on a false footing because you're never going to get everyone.
All righty, then I'll rephrase. What if the 13 million money spenders here, said General Mills?
It's not going to happen, Jeff. Look, I'm not living in what-ifisms. We cannot. Look, when it comes, this just goes back to.
You know why you're right about that? Because the people who are alive right now are not far enough away.
No, that's not why I'm right about it. I'm right about it because
when you get to the point that you can say my people are enough,
no,
really mean it,
no,
that's don't have this problem.
That's not why we're right. I'm right about it.
Always be talking about what the Nigerians.
I'm right about it, Jeff, because I study group dynamics. Group dynamics is innocent. No number, you can plug and play any group, whether it be Indians, black people, Mexicans, Chinese, Asians. The science of group dynamics still reigns true. You're never going to get all of any group to do anything in any kind of concert. You need a critical mass, a small critical mass of determined individuals that look out for the group. That means the ones who teach the group and those who protect the group. We're never going to get 13 million black people to buy in a certain way. You know why that won't happen? We're all Americans. We've been in this country for 400 years. We've been here, going back long before 400 years. We're going to, as a people, you're not going to get 100% of people to do anything. You just need the critical mass.
King Randall's not an American. King Randall is not an American.
Okay.
The brother in Atlanta that just took a building and started a school, he's not an American. He's a black man that started a school that said, here's a problem. These kids need something. There's an empty building. I'm going to go in here and sweep it out and take these kids in. Now, if he could get a hold of a few garbage bags full of $100 bills with bloody thumbprints on them, and he can get some money from professional black athletes that don't give a fuck, that just walk right up on him, that's how it starts. It doesn't, and I understand what you're saying.
But that's old school. We've been doing that. That's 200 years old.
No, not on the level of today. It is.
Shit.
Not on on the level of having your ass rained out. Roland Martin getting his lunch ate by this young dude because of the way that they are going. I don't think that the young people, and they listen to you, and they are right to. But dude, I'm dealing with so many young people that don't give a fiddler's fuck about this system, and are thriving in it.
That's nothing new, Jeff. All that's old school. There's nothing new being done right now. Like all these solutions, these grand things, we've done them, and it hasn't moved the needle. Like you can't. It's not going to be about individuals. Individuals can be undermined, taken down, discredited by the media. Even if they didn't do nothing, the media create a lie and take them down. We have to just get a critical mass of us on cold. I don't look at what King Randall is doing. I don't look at what nobody else is doing. You know why? Because
you look at what the Nigerians is doing, nigga. That's what your show's about.
No. I don't give a fuck what Nigerians are doing. I am talking about the Nigerians who are coming around in our spaces, undermining us in areas that when we're trying to move forward, that has to be called out and acknowledged. Because if it isn't called out, black people are going to assume skin folks or kin folks, like we've been doing the last 50 years, letting people like Shirley Chisholm get in without checking her, letting people like Eric Holder get in politics without checking them, Sheila Jackson Lee, Barack Obama. We've been ignoring these black people for so long, and they've come up in our spaces, Kamala Harris, and we supported them. Why did we support them? Because we ain't been calling out their bullshit.
Right. Bruh, you preaching to the choir. I guess, nigga, I just want to throw grenades. I'm like, fuck everybody. I don't disagree. We are basically disagreeing about run or pass right now. We on the same side. Fuck them.
We on the same side, but this is how I look at it. Everyone has their own part to play. If your part isn't calling out the Nigerians, if your part is just making black people stronger, then play that part. On a basketball team, the reason why the 96 Bulls were so great, because Dennis Rodman got every rebound and set every screen. If Dennis Rodman came to Michael Jordan and said, hey, look, you don't need to score 39 points. If you just score 20 and help me get rebounds, we going to win the game. No. You still need Jordan to score his 40. You still need Pippen to facilitate the offense. And you still need Dennis Rodman to get every rebound. And then when Steve Kerr comes off the bench, we don't need Steve Kerr taking players off the dribble. That's what we got Scottie and Jordan for. We just need you to sit your ass in the corner and make 3-pointers. That's how a team works. Everybody can't play quarterback. Everybody can't play fullback. What I'm saying is, in my approach, because before we even get to King Randall, I've been working with people on the streets of South Central since 1995. Trust me, I get it when it comes to us strengthening ourselves from within. I've been on that. But it comes down to we must also add to our game. If we've done these things that have worked somewhat well, okay, then you go back and you call timeout. You go back to the huddle and you draw up game plans, and the game plan is based on how you're being played against. And one thing we see in how we're being played is how other groups that the ownership of the team that we play for, the NAACP, if you want to call it that, the black preachers who've been so-called setting the rules, they've been bringing people on our team wearing our uniform that when it's time to run a play, these motherfuckers are doing things against the play and helping the other team. We got to call that out. We can do that and build from within. And whatever is inside of you to help build from within is your role to take off and make great. Somebody else is dealing with roles when it comes to this racial dynamic that DwannBrown has no familiarity with, no clue on how to execute it, don't even know what the hell they doing. But if that's their role in this fight, 360 degrees, they got to go ahead and handle that without me telling them what they shouldn't be doing.
Oh, that's fair. Of course, brother. Of course. Again. Right again. Dude. I'll take a step back on this one. You
gotta remember, Jeff.
Around it. I got an old brain. I love you. I dig what you're doing. I don't know, man.
You gotta remember this, man.
I see our power, and I just don't see us using it where it needs to be yet.
You gotta remember this, man. When it comes to them, you gotta remember this. I'm a millennial. We millennials think way different. Sure. We've heard the same thing over and over and over and over again our whole lives, and it hasn't worked. So now the millennials and then Gen Z behind me, we saying, damn that. We busting the door down in all facets. We're handling the enemy without, while making ourselves stronger within at the same time.
My man, I'm going to get out your face.
You have a good one, brother.
I'm on your same page, bro. Good talk.
All right, Jeff Brown.
Peace.
That was brother Jeff Brown. Much love to Jeff. Much love. But remember this, we can do a both and, black folks. It ain't either or. It can't be either or. Because white supremacy is not choosing an either or approach in suppressing us. White supremacy isn't choosing an either or approach in taking our history. They're using a both and all approach. So we need a both and all approach to fix this shit. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's happening? It's Crenshaw for Jersey. What's happening with you, people?
What's up, man? What's on your mind?
Man, you listen. You know what we've done? We've had such an abusive relationship with immigrants, particularly the ones that look like us, for such a long time, right? This is like our relationship with them is equivalent to, the abused wife who says she's tired of her husband, but she stays there and continues to get her ass whooped. And I just gotta say, where we are now as a people, this is the time where we mobilize. I mean, we got a lot of the youngins coming up that's really not on that bootlicking shit, none of that tiptoeing shit. And I think as the older ones in the game here, we got to back them up with just being present and active and really let them ride this thing and drive it on home for us. Everybody ain't your friend. We see it with all of these motherfuckers talk about, representation matters. No, motherfucker, it never mattered for us.
Real talk.
Over 7,000. We had over 7,000 plus black people in positions, and we still crying about the same shit our ancestors cried about, right? So what difference has those faces and high places made for us? Not a motherfucking thing.
Not a damn thing.
So when we get on our square right now, it's got to be a singular thought. Listen, we did the whole everybody listen, we want to hold y'all all down and shit like that. Come on and get with us. Tried to Pan-Africanism. They laughed at us. They laughed at Garvey. You know what I mean? And now it's just like, listen, it's time out for you niggas. You can have your jello. You can have your aki and saltfish and beef patties. Nigga, we cool over here. We going to keep with our fried chicken and collard greens. Y'all niggas, until y'all get on cold, it's time out.
Real talk. That's real talk. It's his phone dropped. That wasn't me. His phone dropped. But that's right, because look, I was raised in the 80s and the 90s, and I remember one of my issues as a child in my view of the world was because I was always into history. I was always into what was going on, even as a young boy. And I would see white people doing these great things. Immigrants, quote unquote, doing these great things. And I'd be like, well, what about black people? What about us? See, black people, those of us who actually paid attention in school, we got to hear about ancient Rome, but they didn't tell us about ancient Carthage, who was actually a bigger and better empire than ancient Rome. They don't tell you about they told us about the Age of Enlightenment and the Middle Ages, but they didn't tell us that those were the Moors bringing the Age of Enlightenment to Europe. They didn't tell us that was black people. It was white. You know what that does? It puts into the mind of the black child, the black youth, that we ain't done nothing, that we are nothing. Why? Because when you do see a black face, you only see us on the news shooting somebody, killing somebody, or you have to be the talented 1/10, 100th of 1% to make the NBA, or the 1,000th of 1% get a hit record on the radio, or become a great actor. Takes one in every 10 million black people can do. And if you're one of those rarest of the rarest, you can be praised if you're black. Everything else, you gotta take the brunt of all that we do bad. What if the black child grew up knowing that math was a science that we invented? What if the black child grew up knowing about George Washington Carver, Benjamin Banneker, knowing that we invented the freezer, the car, the elevator? We don't get that. So no. I'm not going. No. We got to teach that shit. And you know the best time to teach that is when somebody else is. First of all, the best time to teach is being proactive. Kids should just know this shit off the top of their head. But the second best time to teach that is when outside groups are trying to take what we created. That's the perfect opportunity to teach our greatness. And I'm not gonna miss one opportunity to teach our greatness over fear of offending nobody. Fuck them. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Dwan?
What's up, brother? What's on your mind?
Yeah, my name is Eduardo from Brooklyn. I'll be hitting your show up every once in a while.
Eduardo, what's on your mind, brother?
Stuff, man. I'm Panamanian. My family is Panamanian, and I have this problem with my mother and my family members all the time. They swear that Black Americans haven't done anything in life, and it's weird to me.
It's very weird.
Yeah, and I don't understand it. Like, it's a lack of people knowing the history, like you were just now talking about. They never read books past 1960 to know what the Black American really did. So it's like, I don't know. You talking that real stuff. I just wanted to just call in real quick and just give my 1-2. Shout out to you, Craig, and all that. I love everything y'all do. Y'all some real good bros, man. Have a good one, man.
And much love to you. Much love to Panama.
Yeah. All right, I'll holler at Dwan.
Have a good one, brother. Yeah, Black Americans, we've been trying to be brothers and sisters with everybody. And we're still open to being brothers and sisters with people from the diaspora. Still. It's just that we got to get our house in order. And before you go out and demand things from others, you have to get your house in order. Wash the dishes. Take out the trash. Sweep the floor. And what we're doing right now is sweeping the floor. Because guess what? White supremacy is global. And it'd be no good for foundational Black Americans to defeat white supremacy at home while the rest of the world is still in agreement and in alignment with white supremacy. We saw that in Haiti. Haiti fixed themselves, but they saw the rest of the Black world was still on a white supremacist ideology, and they got no backing, no trade, and their movement ultimately failed. We need the Black diaspora to clean up its own house. And the best way to show someone else how to clean their house is through cleaning your own first. You can't have a dirty house telling someone else they need to mop. Nigga, you got trash on your grass. Matter of fact, your grass ain't even cut. It's weeds growing out the grass. The porch light don't work. But we telling other people what they need to do. No. We got to clean our shit up first, starting with these motherfuckers. And as they see how we clean our house, starting with them, those who are on code will get a better understanding on how to clean their house. Because can you imagine a world with a clean Black American house and a clean Nigerian house and a clean Cameroonian house in South Africa? South Africa got the best wine in the world. The minute South Africa cleans its house, that's a trade import-export we can have with South Africa that we cannot have now because the white supremacists is in the way and their internal coons. Can you imagine if the people in the Congo cleaned their house and we can trade and we can have direct trade lines for the cobalt and the silver And now the white supremacists will have to go through the black Americans and the black Congolese before they can make their fucking iPhones, and we make the money on it first before it gets to them. Do you think Apple will be as profitable and rich as it is now? If the Africans in Liberia clean their house and kick the Firestone Rubber Company out of Liberia and start trading directly with black rubber makers here in America, when everybody cleans their own house, when the Panamanians get the white supremacists off their back, and there's a black first use of the Panama Canal because we're all on clothes. See, the minute we all clean our own houses, we'll be right back on top in 6 months. But as long as one person's trying to clean their house and everyone is running, the shit ain't gonna work. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Derek, and I'm calling from Boston.
What's up, Derek from Boston? What's on your mind?
Ain't nothing much, bro. I'm just calling in, just to chime in on what the subject matter on about, immigrants and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
So basically, yeah. So, I heard Dwan speak about and Jeff talk about politics. But, from where I'm at, this is an open border state, and we have a lot of immigrants taking spots that our elders have, paved the way for to try to make, open doors for us, So that coincides with them having economic power because they could come here and set up their own enclaves, their own economics, their own businesses. And then when you have that gives them power, like you said, to talk shit to us. And so like Dwan said, you gotta call that out. You have to. Because if you don't, they still gonna continue doing what they're gonna do. Pretend to be our friends while they riding on our ancestors' legacy, and to get in favor with the white supremacists who run this shit here. I mean, excuse me, who run the politics, who run the economy, who run the whole system.
Yeah.
So it needs to be called out.
It has to.
You know what I mean? And then the funny thing about it, you have the white supremacists, these liberals here, aka liberals, who they don't tear down their businesses, like how they tore down all the businesses here. And I'm originally from New York, but I live in Boston. Like all the black businesses is gone, bro, all of them, except for the Jamaicans and the Haitian businesses. Because we have 2 Chinatowns here, two Chinatowns. They don't attack though. They haven't attacked it one bit. They haven't attacked it 1 second. They patronize it. And in East Boston, where all the Hispanics from anywhere from Central America to from South America can come and set up their shop. They haven't attacked it. Not one racial slur, not one brick thrown through a window, nothing, bro.
And Boston is a significant area. Boston is
right. We have. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Now, I'm saying Boston is an extremely significant area because one story that hasn't been told enough, and I've been learning this from Dr. Clyde Winters, is when you're talking about the ancient Britons, the Britons were black. That's what the British are white. The Britons are black. And when we're talking about a lot of the initial immigration to the United States in the Boston area in the 1600s, there was an amalgamation of white and black Britons. There are a lot of black people in Boston that go back to the 1600s who were never enslaved, who came from England.
Yes, sir.
And you got those people being told again to wait while someone who just got fresh off of a boat 7 years ago gets to come and establish a business in our area while they don't attack the areas of the Germans who came in 100 years after the black people were there. The Italian and the Irish came 200 years after the original black people in Massachusetts. And all these other groups got to get ahead of the black people who've been in that area for 400 fucking years. We ain't waiting no more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's crazy, because like I said, it's an open border state. And and a lot of us, we don't have kumbaya shit here, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with our reparations movement here, even the people on code, they definitely check the Cape Verdeans, the Nigerians, and in the Caribbean folks. Nah, this is for us. Y'all have your CARICOM. You could go to England, you could go to France. You know what I mean? If it's French, Haitians or whatever, to go do your thing. You know. But for the most part, a lot of us, we all kumbaya, bro. And it's only going to be, like you said, it's only going to be a selective few who are going to be pushing the line, you know. And everybody else who's on that coon shit, K come out or W come out, dumbbell, like Professor Blacktooth called them, those dudes definitely got to be called out and pushed to the side.
Got to, because at the end of the day, this stuff, that stuff that they're doing only works when they're doing it in secret. The minute you shine a light on it, it can no longer be effective. So, man, thanks for giving us a call.
No problem. All right, Gardena, you be easy. Thanks for the lesson.
You have a good one, brother. Yeah, these sneaky undermining, that's why they call it undermine. You have to be, the connotation of under is going under the level of observation. You can only be undermined when it's under your nose and it's not being talked about when it's being done in secret. The minute it's no longer a secret, you can no longer be undermined that way. They could try different methods, but that ain't gonna work. Not the minute you call it out. Hell no. You're right, Kurt. It don't take everybody, just enough. So, yeah. I want y'all to be on the lookout, man, because I'm getting ready. I'm putting together my series now on the Black American music, where its roots and where it comes from, and how it all developed into hip hop. Y'all be ready for that. Y'all be ready for that. Because we do have to make it, like what Jeff said, we do have to make ourselves stronger internally. That's very true. But we also got to call out motherfuckers who threaten that. They always say, the old cliche says, peace only comes at the end of a sword. The level of peace that a group has is conditioned on the level they're willing to defend that peace. Peace has to be defended. They always say the United States is a peaceful nation. Well, why? Because the United States got all the fucking guns in the world. Any other country who tries to come defend this peace got some serious consequences and these hands coming to them. That's why the Monroe Doctrine has never been challenged. Russia tried to challenge the Monroe Doctrine, but they never took the missiles to Cuba. The reason why the Monroe Doctrine has never been challenged, what's the Monroe Doctrine? That's when the United States said anything on this whole goddamn Western Hemisphere is under the jurisdiction of the United States of America. The United States could have done all the talking they want to talk about, making themselves a better country. We gonna get better. We just need to worry and focus on ourselves. If they just did that, the rest of the world would have been in this hemisphere this whole time. The reason why the rest of the world never challenged the Monroe Doctrine is because of fear of the consequences in return for challenging the Monroe Doctrine. Well, this is the Negro Doctrine. The Negro Doctrine is black people will own our creations, will stand firm in our creations, and we'll profit from our creations. And anyone who tries to impede on the ownership and control of the Negro Doctrine, the things that we created and control, will have severe consequences for that action. And watch them motherfuckers back off. Because at the end of the day, they don't want this heat. They don't want this. They really don't. If they wanted heat, they would have stayed home and dealt with the heat at home. That's right, Eastwood Moore. We all we got. So as we make it hard on these people that infringe on us, they'll do two things. They'll either shut up or they'll go home. Or they'll shut up and go home. But they won't do this shit no more. We stay where we are right now, black folks. We stay on our square defending ourselves, defending our culture, defending our heritage. I promise you in 10 years, we ain't going to be dealing with this shit. Thank y'all for listening. You know, I got the Patreon up. And we'll be having my webinar series and the Too Deep for YouTube series. Sign up and get 10% off all merchandise at the Hotepish store. Get my new t-shirt, Mothers of the Movement, Dr. Welsing, Ida B. Wells, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Scheherazade Ali. And also get the Black Heritage flag. I'm having this flag up on the website for the month of Black History Month only. Now through the end of February, Black History flag, mask, and t-shirts. Get yours now on the website. And I think we will be doing an incense and ashtray tonight. Much appreciated, sincere love to God for joining. Sean C, Deep Impressions, Jaron 215. All y'all, appreciate y'all for joining. Sherelle Bryant. We are going to have our incense and ashtrays tonight, talking about some music history. So join the Mixcloud. Yeah, order that flag. Order that flag now. I'm only going to have it on sale for the month of Black History Month, and it will be off of sale until the next time I decide to put that up. Remember this, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. Love yourself and love your people. Black first. I'm out.